Just looking at the where the guys have all been this winter. We're approaching the start of the domestic season now. Is everyone who we expecting to be back in the country, and are we going to have everyone available?
Good question, Sam. You probably know more than me, so I'll throw it back to you. No, literally we are. So, for example, Sean Hunt is in the country for isolating. Stian arrives tomorrow, and then we're isolating. Phil Salt's back and isolating. Robinson back isolating. Mitch flying currently. Obviously, Travis won't be with us till end of April-ish.
Just explain
so
that.
Obviously, he's got their domestic season has continued, and I think I'm not sure the exact date. But he's going to miss definitely the first few games, but obviously the complications of trying to get people back. If you think of Stian, it's not as straightforward getting somebody over from South Africa.
Yeah,
as you know, I think he might be renamed Steve now, but he's not come direct. He's had to go and do isolation somewhere else. So his dedication to get here, I think, is 2 lots of 10-day isolation.
Yeah.
In various parts of the world that has a corridor where we can do it. Obviously, I think Ollie's obviously been away anyway, and we had Zoom call with him, had Zoom calls with Phil, we've stayed in touch, same with Mitch and the likes, and Sean we've been in contact with them all winter. I think it's very important because obviously, whether it comes out today, but obviously we've got some new coaching staff, but a very big mantra of our coaching method is not just coaching them as a cricketer, it's also coaching them as people and human beings as well. We just believe better people make better cricketers, and that means that everybody who comes on the coaching staff is of similar ilk. So the 2 with Sarah and Ashley coming on board, it's massively important that they fit into our ethos of positive language, positive in everything we do, but also that they coach the whole person. It's just on our theory that people won't remember us teaching them a cover drive, but they'll remember how we made them feel.
Yeah.
That's how lasting, and that sort of goes into the ethos of the club of, we want the whole club, everybody involved in Sussex to get behind the club. We're trying to build bridges, obviously ground staff, office staff, sponsors, Sussex Foundation, North, South, East, West Sussex. We want to become accessible. We want to create a karma where everybody wants us to do well and feels that they have a vested interest in the club. So hence, that's why we keep in touch with everybody while they're away. You're a Sussex player, not just while you are a Sussex player, you're also a Sussex player for life. It's keeping a check-up on, I'll be lying if I said I haven't been in touch with Danny Briggs to see how he is. Luke, I'm wishing him well, even though we're in competition, obviously, early. Harry Finch, people like Will Sheffield. We haven't discarded somebody like Will, for example. I know James is still coaching him.
Yeah.
Because we want him to go away in club cricket and tear it up and say, look, you need to re-sign me. But that's the care, empathy we have. Obviously we forgot about Ravi, obviously Visa, Rash, and also Rich Housel has been away coaching in the PSL. So there's loads of people to keep in contact with. It feels like there's been more people away than there has here, which I think is the modern way you have to get used to now as a coach. And I actually haven't met a few of them. It feels like I haven't met Sean Hunt. I've met him virtually. That's it.
Yeah.
I get to meet people in the club that I haven't seen. I've actually just met on, virtually. So it's been a fascinating few months.
You mentioned Ravi. People often asking, what his situation is with red ball, white ball. Is he someone who's available to you in the championship side?
We are massively working together as 2 coaches, myself and James. We'll be working very closely to make sure that the T20 side is working just as well with the 4-day side without compromise. Ravi might be an example, or a Visa, or if they need to play a 4-day game, before T20 or during to keep them going or get some rhythm. For me, neither side loses out.
Yeah.
If it's the right thing to do. Again, we'll go back to, is it the strategically right of what we're trying to do to be competitive in all cricket? Why wouldn't we? I don't think we compromise. We just make sure, or even it might be Rash.
Yeah.
You know, those two games that sort of come in the middle of the T20, Rash might feel he needs some rhythm, and I'll have a little think about whether I can find a space for him in 4 days if he fancies playing.
Yeah, no, that makes perfect sense.
So that sort of thing is we all work very closely with one another to get the best, so that Sussex perform at their best in both forms.
And then very finally, you've mentioned, you know, the long-term aims, 5 years, whatever. But if someone was to ask you, 2021 Championship campaign, you know, are you setting? You might not want to share them, but are you setting goals and what you think this team can achieve this season?
Sam, I'm going to throw it back. What do you think we can achieve?
What do I?
No, I'm not frightened to answer something like. I'm going into every game trying to win.
Yeah.
I'm not frightened to talk about winning, because I will. You know, my belief is that's how you make good decisions. So first game against Lancashire, I won't go particularly long term. I will go literally game by game, which sounds a cliche, but literally every game I go into, first and foremost, I go, how can we win this by an innings? That helps me then pick the right side or the right squad for that game. How the right pitch, who we need, we match it up. I swear to add how amazing analyst Luke Dunning is with us. We don't call him an analyst now. You know, he's just part of our support staff. We want him. We don't want him seen as just an analyst. He's just as important as our coaching staff, and he's got a massively great relationship with the players now. And so we want to use him. He's already coming up with plans of how we win by an innings. So if we set out every game to win by an innings, it helps us make good decisions. Look, if we get 200 on the first day and then we got them out for 150, we're not winning by an innings. But you chunk down, but you start every game trying to win by an innings. And then see where it takes us. I aim to win every single game. I can't see the point of turning up just to compete or not say, I don't want to be in the first division when it breaks off, or win it. That's not in my nature. I want to win every single game I play. I suppose the long-term aim is to be interviewed by you this time next year.
That requires me still being here, so.
Oh yeah, that's true. That's true. That's very true. Okay, by somebody else. This time next year, just in case.
Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed for both of us.
Fingers crossed for both of us.
Yeah.
No, but my big aim is just to improve each player. I look at the talent we have, and we have to be realistic. If you look at our side and you compare it to other sides, and you could say, you know, we're limited in certain areas, but my aim is then to improve every single player.
Yeah.
And if we improve every single player, I'm pretty sure I can, was it going on record? I'm pretty sure that every single player will improve this year. In fact, I'm positive they will. The coaching staff we have in place, the infrastructure we have in place, every single player will improve. By how much? That is the $1 million question. That can rely on so many different things: form, injuries, opportunity, and their own self-belief. But literally, our aim is that we truly believe that every single player will improve. It's just by how much and where that takes us. It could take us all the way to finals. It might take us to, with minus 12 points, I'll be happy to wipe that off as early as possible. We have to be realistic, but if we improve every single person, then the aim will be, then that should bring results. And because if I look at last year, how I looked at last year, won the first game, deserved to win the first game, got pumped in the second game. My true belief is we should have won the next 3 games. If you're in the league going into the third innings as strongly as we were in 3 times, I just think there was something just missing which I hope we'll correct going forward. But it's honestly, in my view, we should have won those 3 games. Which then, if you add that up, we should have been in the final.
Yeah.
So that's how I look at it.
Okay, to wrap things up, it's been a long, hard winter for everyone. How excited are you about it? April the 8th, it all getting underway.
I, in some ways, I haven't. This winter's been quite exciting. I feel hugely privileged to be in the position I'm in, and like I say, this time last year I was in a dark place.
Yeah.
I would say the fact that we've been able to train. My sanity might be in place more than other people who've just been sat at home working. So to be able to, even though we've been in bio bubbles, wearing masks, washing our hands every 2 minutes, wiping everything down every 2 minutes, doing your temperature, flow tests, all this sort of stuff, actually, it's kept me sane. Being able to drive to work, even though the commute's been a while, it's given me opportunity to listen to audiobooks. So my sanity, compared to probably most, I feel fortunate, if I'm totally honest. And like I say, compared to this time last year, so I can't wait. I'm a little bit ahead of you. I'm really looking forward to the warm-up games just as much. We got 2 days against Surrey, 2 days against Hampshire. And so I'm looking forward to them. But obviously, 8th of April is the hugely exciting game. I look forward to locking horns with Luke. The irony of, as we say, Wales being in the opposition.
Yeah.
I've known Luke before he was born. Obviously know Alan, Colin. I wish him well. Obviously, this is, I want everybody who's played for Sussex to feel welcome back here anytime. I hope he's made to feel welcome by everybody. And sometimes people just move on. So somebody who has done the same myself. But I want him to feel as though, you have been a Sussex player, a massive part of it, for a period of time. You should feel absolutely welcome back in here anytime. Feel free not to score any runs, obviously. But you are welcome back anytime, and as is the Wells family. I think there's an outside chance that Harry Finch might get a go with Glamorgan as well, so we could come up against him second game. And the same, I wish him well.
Yeah.
Wish Danny well, wish Laurie well. And me and James are more happy to. We want to get old players back, make them feel welcome.
Ian, really good to talk to you. Fascinating to hear your philosophy and your plans, and really appreciate your time. Thank you.
Thanks, Sam.